a way to set that act up because they were like, well, it's basically us doing hip-hop moves to a Japanese marching band song. Or dressed up as a marching band to a Japanese hip-hop song? I don't know. But what the fuck, you guys? Scarlett O'Hara and Bolt. So last weekend, a number of folks who were in this show and a number of folks in the greater Seattle burlesque community were in Boston in between two snowstorms. Flew in right before one and flew out right before the other, because I am so good at picking flights. With my excellent ability to use points on Alaska in my Alaska card. But so we were in Boston for this burlesque competition, the Great Burlesque Expo, and Scarlett and Bolt won Best Group.
Yeah!
And obviously they let the power go to their heads, because they were like, yes, let's do this weird fucking thing now. Let's do this. But it was super well deserved. They won with their robot act, which you But I want to tell you, I've been asked, actually, we were talking about this backstage, I was going to do a different intro for this act, but then someone was like, you should tell the story about the tooth. And I was like, yeah, you're right. You're right. You know what? Because we don't have to be rushed out of here at 10 anymore. The rendezvous is ours all night. Don't worry, the story's not going to take that long. But I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to us in Boston last weekend. So, this is Sunday. This is the last night some of us are in town. Scarlett and Bolt have already left because they are sane human beings with sane human being jobs, unlike the rest of us who were like, yeah, let's get up at 7 the next morning and then fly into Seattle. That sounds great, which means really we're getting up at 5.
Yeah.
Which means really we're not sleeping. So this is our last night in the hotel. The competition showcase is over, and there's just a newcomer showcase for new performers. Our friend Magnolia Monroe was performing that night, so we all stayed to watch her, and she was great. She killed it.
Yes.
In her big, giant Jamie Von Stratton poof, just everywhere.
Yes.
So we're in the hotel. It's maybe like 4 o'clock, and I'm sitting there with Sarah Dippity and Magnolia, and Sarah decides that she maybe wants to have a drink or have smoke or something, and Magnolia goes, oh, look, I found a tiny little bit of weed in my bag. And it's just like the little tiniest bits of shake, like just at the bottom of the bag of her prescription. And Sarah goes, okay. And so Sarah starts trying to cull together all of this tiny little pieces of shit weed. And she's on the floor in our hotel room, sitting there, scraping it together, oh so delicately, like almost as if she had cocaine in a credit card. And she's sitting there, scraping it all together, and she goes, okay, I think I found enough to make one hit. And then she goes, how am I gonna smoke this?
Coke can.
And she's like, yeah, I need a Coke can or something, but we don't have any cans in this room. And I go, hey, we have apples.
Yes.
Because Scarlett and Bolt were like, take these apples, we can't take them on the plane. So I was like, yes, thank you for enabling us. And so we run over, we get her an apple, and she spends the next few minutes like carving it out with like a plastic knife and making an apple bong. And then she's sitting there on the floor with her apple bong and her very careful little tiny bit of shit weed. And then she goes, wait, but I don't have anything to light this with. And then we remembered that Maggie McMuffin lights her crotch on fire in the act that she did the night before. And so we were like, oh my god, we just have to wait until Maggie gets back from whatever she's doing because we can ask her about using her matches in her panties. But we find one of her spare matches on the floor in the meantime, and we're like, okay, wait, maybe we can figure this out. Maybe we can figure it out. But then we go, no, we'll just wait for Maggie. So Maggie comes back, and Sarah explains the situation. Well, I found this tiny bit of shitweed, and then I decided to make an apple bong, and now I'm trying to figure out how to smoke it. And Maggie goes, do you want to use my panties? And Sarah was like, yes, I do, yay, thank you. And Maggie, I will just say as a caveat, has a weed allergy, so she was like, yeah, but you can use my panties, but you can only smoke outside on the patio in the snow where we all took naked photos last night. And Sarah's like, yeah, okay, fine, sure, great, give me your panties. And then as she gets the panties in one hand and the match in the other, and she's trying to load her apple bong, she loses all of her shit weed. And it falls on that carpet in the hotel room, and all of Sarah's dreams are dashed. It is the saddest that she has looked all weekend. Because as I mentioned the night before we were up, well, I didn't fully mention, but the night before we were all up till 5 a.m. drinking what is known as pussy wine with the Italians in their hotel room, and everyone was naked. So we were having a fucking great time. And then Sarah lost her shitweed, and she's just so dejected, but she's like, okay, wait, maybe I can find it again. So Sarah is down with her cell phone on the hotel carpet looking for the shitweed that she spilled, that she spent a half hour preparing. And she's looking for the shitweed, and her hand brushes against something, and she goes, you guys, is this a tooth? And so naturally, Maggie and I are like, give it to us, we want to hold it, let us see if it was a tooth. So we pass it around to each other because we're all insane people, and we're like, yeah, let's touch this. Oh, is it human remains? Let's touch it. So Sarah passes it to Maggie, and Maggie's turning it over in her hand, and I'm turning it over, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely part of a tooth. It's part of a tooth, it's not even a whole tooth. It's part of a tooth. But Maggie is a very, and none of us are shocked by this. Sarah is still really disappointed that she lost her shitweed in the hotel floor, and it's never to be found. She keeps looking as we're like, ooh, it's a tooth, look. And so Maggie, being the very cunning person that she is, goes, we should totally take this to the front desk and see if we can get some free shit. So we wait, though. We try to figure out a strategy. We put the tooth aside, and Maggie decides, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. After the show tonight, I'm gonna go down to the front desk, and I'm going to tell them that we found a tooth, and I'm going to ask if maybe they can give us a discount on the room or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's great. This room's hell of expensive. I already paid for it, but great. Money back is great. Excellent. Let's do that. So we go to the show. A few hours go by. We've had a couple drinks. We've seen Magnolia perform. And now we're like, wait, do we still have the tooth? We did. We kept the tooth aside, and we give it to Maggie, and Maggie puts it in a little bag, like a bag that are the knife that Sarah carved her apple bong out of was in, a little plastic knife that we had stolen from the Trader Joe's 2 days earlier. This is a crazy living in a hotel weekend. So Maggie takes this little utensil bag down to the front desk and walks up to the concierge person, hotel human, whatever, very, very matter-of-factly, and goes, we found human remains in our room. Specifically, this tooth. And the hotel person takes the tooth as though he has done this many times before. He takes the bag and goes, oh, I see. What is your room number? And we go through Maggie goes through the whole process with him, and then he's like, okay, well, let me comp your room. But we had booked through a third party, so we couldn't have our room comped. And so his solution to this was to say, well, I could give you $50 to the hotel restaurant. And Maggie was like, yeah, well, we're leaving tonight, and you know, it's not really gonna work for us. We're flying out early next morning, so we don't even really have time to have a meal, and plus, there's 4 people in our room, so $50 just isn't enough for finding a human tooth. And so he goes, well, how about 100? The bar is still open until midnight tonight. You guys can go out there and just have all the drinks you want. And Maggie goes, okay. And then she walks back to the room and reports this story to us, and then we're all like, fucking sweet, tooth snacks. So then we spend the rest of the evening in the hotel bar eating free goddamn snacks and like sharing 3 cocktails with Willie Barrett and Gabriella Mays, who is a burlesque legend. Gabriella Mays came over to join us and talk our ear off, but we sat there enjoying, and we told everybody, like we texted everybody, we're like, come to the bar, we have tooth snacks. We found a tooth in our room and the hotel's giving us snacks. Come to the bar and hang out with us and our tooth snacks. And so that is definitely the weirdest thing that happened last weekend. That's what happens when you find a human tooth in your hotel room while you are trying so desperately to just have one hit of fucking awful weed.
Master level MCing.
That is the story of the tooth. I just can't wait. I can't wait. Maggie and I were joking about this backstage too. I can't wait until we're at the age of legends, like that one day when we're as old as Gabriella Mays, who is not very old, she's one of our younger legends actually, that when we're Gabriella's age, we will someday be in a hotel bar with a bunch of young women, and I, as Gabriella did to Magnolia Monroe, will have a death grip on some young performer's hand for the entirety of a conversation in which I tell that exact story. And we say things like, well, back in the day, this is what happened. and then fabricate the story. Maggie and I decided it'd be great if we added this thing on the end, is to say, and after we learned that that worked, at every convention we went to, we would just punch each other in the face and knock our teeth out to get our rooms comped. I carry around a bag of molars. So just saying, just think about it. They're your travel teeth. Just bring them with you, scatter them everywhere on the hotel floor. Oh, all right, you guys. Because the thing is if we did that punching in the face thing, like everybody would think we're real dangerous, right? They'd be like, we would truly be a girl gang. Truly. This teen angel outfit would be like, it would make total and complete sense at that point in time. Because people would believe that we were dangerous. They'd believe that like all these old-timey strippers were like real hardcore broads, punching each other in the face and knocking their teeth out for free hotel rooms. Stories to tell on the road.
Life goals.
Life goals. Hashtag squad goals. Hashtag tooth goals. They would believe that, and you better believe that burlesque performers are dangerous, because really things can get quite ruthless. I mean, I'm pretty sure our next performer is going to be the first person to punch my teeth out for a free hotel room. So please, put your hands together for a woman who waited very patiently while I told that whole goddamn story, and is probably going to knock my molars out right after she gets off stage. Please welcome